And more than 2,000 federal workers have been laid off since President Trump took office. About 75,000 federal employees have accepted buyout plans known as deferred resignations. That's all according to the Office of Personnel Management. Now, here are some of those government agencies that have experienced or are being targeted by those layoffs from DOGE. We have the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Education, and the Department of Energy. We also are talking about the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Homeland Security, the NASA, of course, and we're also talking about the Internal Revenue Services. All of those are facing, on average, about 7 agencies are all facing these types of cuts and layoffs, and they have all been targeted for spending cuts as well. Tom.
Caroline, on top of all of that, corporate layoffs will also take a toll. Chevron, for example, recently announced that it plans to reduce its workforce by as much as 20%. Regardless of the circumstances, though, the change can mean a real problem.
When you're let go with pretty much, zero notice, wasn't necessarily announcements ahead of time. Obviously it's hard to sort of prepare.
Since there is no good time to suddenly be out of work, financial planner Michael Neuenschwander says there is no time to waste for federal employees who are now off the job for whatever reason. In Denver, more than 100 IRS workers were among thousands suddenly let go across the country.
There's no severance. There's no next week you'll get paid for nothing.
More than half the country isn't necessarily equipped or prepared to handle even a financial emergency of $500 or $600, let alone being out of work.
There are 2 important steps to get on right away. First, file for unemployment benefits. In Texas, recipients can get a maximum $591 a week for up to 26 weeks. Second, secure health insurance, whether through COBRA coverage or through the Affordable Care Act marketplace. Next should be a calm inventory of available finances, closely looking at savings and expenses. If there's an emergency fund available, Neuenschwander says this is the kind of rainy day that was being planned for that can help make ends meet. And there should also be a critical look at household finances and reorganizing the budget to include significant cutbacks that might be necessary, including perhaps a move to someplace more affordable.
Those bigger kind of structural changes often save a whole lot more money than the little things here and there, but they're also in many cases sort of the tougher decisions to make.
Some more advice, especially at tax time, for those who think they might get a tax refund. Michael Neuenschwander suggests filing now as fast as you can to get the money sooner. And for those who are facing layoffs, like those at Chevron and other places, now is the time to prepare for when financial considerations might be leaner a little farther on down the road. Do the work now. Watching Your Money. I'm Tom Zizka, Fox 26 News.